of white people here, okay? So we don't care.
We know you don't care. You're using the colorblind theory, which absolves you from having to acknowledge and accept the fact of all forms of racism, of the traumas we go through continually, daily, within a colonial system. It's an excuse. It's an excuse for you to not have to do better. We know you don't care. We're well aware.
White people. I'm going to answer this in the most honest way I can. And not like anybody's answered this question on here. You know, everybody on here is like, oh, it feels like we're hated. And everybody always, you have BET, but you can't have white ET or whatever. Okay? I'm going to say this. I love being white. It's great. And I don't care. I have a family. I have a fiance. I got my dogs. I have a home. I have a job. I have a car. America is awesome. And I don't give a fuck. That's how it feels to be white. Y'all get to be proud of who you are. Why the heck can't we? Why is it so bad for a white person to be proud to be white? I'm proud. Nobody chooses what color they are. Nobody chooses what family they have. All you can choose is what you do with your own life. Be proud of who you are.
Hello my good people, welcome back to my YouTube space. I am the Kenyan Beast, and in today's video I'm gonna talk about the white people opening up, like they're saying it is exhausting being white. It's tired being white, you know, and some of them have their own views about being white. And I'm like, okay, you are exhausted of being white. What about black people? That's what I'm going to talk about in this video today. I'm not saying, I know it's hard to be white, so it's hard to be black too. Very hard to be black too. So that's what I'm going to talk on this video today. And so I'm going to play you videos, because videos of white people talking about how exhausted they are, because they are just opening up right now. White people are finally saying this out loud. It's exhausting being white, you know. So the guilty, the pressure, the criticism, the confusion, they feel like they can't say anything anymore. They have tried, or they are tired of being told about their privilege, or the white privilege. But here is what they have forgotten, or maybe they just choose to not to see. Black people have been exhausted for centuries, not emotionally, but the entire, how will I say, existentially. Since black people have been exhausted, not from criticism, but from the systems designed to crush, to exclude, to erase black people. So in today's video, that's what I'm going to talk about. But before I talk on this, I want to share these clips of white people talking about exhaustion, and I accept her because I listen to them, and I know what they are trying to mean. But again, let's watch and then we come back here.
White people.
Oh, that's me?
What does it feel like to be white?
Wow, okay, that's a loaded question. What does it feel like to be white? Well, first I want to say, and I'm literally going to speak for I want to say 99.9% of white people here, okay? So we don't care about the color of your skin, the culture you ascended from. It's literally like caring what color hair someone has. I don't care if you have blonde hair, brown hair, black hair, blue hair, no hair. Do you? Do you care what color hair someone has? What color eyes they have? Because that's what it's like to me. Like saying, I only like people with brown eyes. What? Okay, now that I got that out of the way. Wow, I didn't expect this question to make me emotional. It's like being hated. No matter how you say something or don't say something, no matter how you act or don't act, no matter how much you try to show up in your life every day, you have this target on your back for something that some of your ancestors did so far long ago before you ever existed. Specifically being a white woman, it's like if you're bold and personable and outgoing, you're a bitch and you're conceited and you're full of yourself. And on the flip side, if you're humble and you're quiet and you're bashful, then you're weak. You're a weakling. And it's literally spending your entire life trying so hard to find this like perfect balance, this perfect percentage of both that will allow you an existence of just not being judged about everything. Also being a white woman, it's basically having your entire existence and value be directly tied to your weight and what size you wear. So, side note question for Black women, how does it feel feeling beautiful no matter what size you are? Because I don't think as a white woman I have ever experienced that. And I think that's a truly beautiful thing and how it should be. Really what I want to say is we don't know what vessel we're going to be put into on this wild, crazy journey ride that we call life here on Earth. And some shitty things went down in the past involving every culture, okay? And I'm not excusing it. I'm not saying I was happy it happened, obviously. Like, no, I wish none of that never happened to anyone. Now, then, ever. But now it's 2024. Can't we do better? Can't we say it doesn't matter what culture you came from, where your ancestors came from, what family you happen to be born into? What matters is how you show up and how you teach your children. Sorry, I'm surrounded by mosquitoes. How you teach your children to show up so that we can better the path of the journey of life for our future generations. Instead of this mean girl mentality of being jealous and competing with each other, let us be sisters. I really think that's what I want. And I think a lot of people like me want that too. So I don't know. That was just off the cuff there, but that's what it feels like to be white. Wow. Okay,
This is a fair warning that I am uncaffeinated, Melissa, so my thoughts are going to be more on the unfiltered side. I am not trying to invalidate anyone's feelings. That is a hard question for white people to answer. What I am going to do is invite you to consider how your response isn't an answer to the question, but more a defense for what you perceived the intent of the question to be. The question that Glam Melanin asked was an invitation for self-reflection, for introspection. However, you treated it as coming from a place of divisiveness. And so your response was not introspection, but a bunch of reasons for why she should not be asking that question. On top of that, you utilized some very violent language as a way to describe the danger that you feel you're constantly in when we are the most protected demographic. And the people who are going to be in the most danger, who are in the most danger just for existing, are Black people. If this is something that you or others are looking to work on, I recommend getting in community with white women who are doing anti-racism work and start following Black women who are anti-racism educators. That's how we're going to do better.
What does it feel like to be white?
I got this. We're tired. We're tired. We're tired of thinking of everything that we want to say from 3 different perspectives before we say it because we might offend somebody. What is it like to be white? It's fucking exhausting tiptoeing around the tulips of everybody else's feelings. So I have now decided I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about bonnets. I don't care about wave caps. I don't care about braids. I don't give a fuck about the barbecue anymore. I got my own barbecue and it's pretty fucking awesome because I have an entire spice cabinet that should be full of dishes, but it's just spices because, you know, I know how to cook. Ask me any other question than the lazy man's race baiting question. As someone who is an older millennial, baby Gen X, because I was raised by older Gen X baby boomer parents, ask me any other question. Ask me what it's like to grow up in world-changing events my entire life, starting when I was a teenager. Y2K, 9/11, pandemic, bombings, wars, conflicts. Ask me what that's like. Ask me what it's like to be a mom of 3 over 30 who got divorced after being married for 15 years. Ask me what it's like as someone who got diagnosed at 33 with stage 4 cancer. Ask me what it's like to have been a nurse for 14 years, have 2 college degrees, and end up working as a corrections officer and fucking loving my job, finally. Finally. Ask me what I do in a day. Ask me the fucking real shit that happens in a day. Like, you can't make that shit up. That happens every day in my job. It is the same thing every day, but it is a different same thing every day. And it is that shit that you just look at and go, you can't make this shit the fuck up. What the fuck am I listening to? What the fuck am I watching? What the hell? It's literally a people zoo, and not only are the inmates, right, that live there part of that, believe me, officers are too. They watch us like fish in a fishbowl. That just, they web their little wheat. Ask me literally any other question. Ask me what it's like to start over in your life after leaving an abusive man and having negative $10 in your bank account and starting all over from scratch to be diagnosed with cancer not even 6 months later. Ask me anything other than about what it's like to be white, because nobody gives a fuck what it's like to be white, just like I don't give a fuck what it's like to be black. I really couldn't care less. I don't care. Are you happy? Are you healthy? Are you blessed? Do you eat well? Do you have a job? Do you pay your bills? Do you have unique life experiences that could help me in my life experiences? Are you a good person? Those are legitimate questions. Those are good questions. But if I'm grading your question on a scale from 100 to negative, that race-baited lazy man's question, negative. I'm sorry. And you should really do better. Do better trying to get attention. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a fuck that you're a black woman who wants to know what white women feel like. You don't care. You just want the attention that comes from that, and I know I'm feeding into it, but I can't scroll 4 videos on my For You page without seeing this goddamn question. So that's the fucking answer. How do white women feel? We're fucking exhausted. And I bet if we ask you, a black woman, man, how's it feel to be a black woman? You're gonna look me dead in the face and go, man, it's fucking exhausting. Yep. Not that much different, are we? Fucking get some more original content, because this is beyond stupid at this point.
White people.
I'm going to answer this in the most honest way I can. And not like anybody's answered this question on here. You know, everybody on here is like, oh, it feels like we're hated, and everybody always, you have BET, but you can't have white ET or whatever. Okay? I'm going to say this. I love being white. It's great. And I don't care. I have a family. I have a fiance. I got my dogs. I have a home. I have a job. I have a car. America is awesome. And I don't give a fuck. That's how it feels to be white. Y'all get to be proud of who you are. Why the heck can't we? Why is it so bad for a white person to be proud to be white? I'm proud. Nobody chooses what color they are. Nobody chooses what family they have. All you can choose is what you do with your own life. Be proud of who you are.
Welcome back. Now, let me break this down a little bit. You have heard the videos from white people. You have heard what they're trying to say. What do white people really mean when they say it is exhausting being white? What do they really mean? Usually, personally, I think this means this. They feel constantly criticized. They don't know what's okay to say anymore. And I understand that. They don't know where to pass. They feel like they are no more in control. Every conversation a white person, the actually real white person is having, he will start thinking, have I said something good? Have I said something bad? They are afraid of being called racist. They're afraid of being cancelled. That is the reality. They're uncomfortable. They're losing the privilege of not thinking about race. And some of them, that is exhaustion. Even if it's me, I'll be so much exhausted, okay? But there's a difference between discomfort and a burden. There's a difference between guilt and grief. Being uncomfortable because you are facing truth, it is not the same thing as being exhausted from trying to survive that the truth every single. White people are trying to survive the truth every single day. Black people aren't tired of being called out. Black people are tired of being left out. Black people are tired of being shut out. Black people are tired of being put down each and every day. So that is it. And that's why I'm gonna talk about black exhaustion, because black exhaustion is deep, it is real, and it is unavoidable. Just from your childhood, you go all the way, okay? I am trying to understand what white people are saying. I am trying to understand the exhaustion of black people, of white people. I am trying so hard, and I really understand that. But I want to talk about black exhaustion. Black exhaustion, it is waking up early, carrying the weight of being black. It's having to think twice before every day, before every move, before every word. When you want to go into a grocery store, you have to think. When you go into a gas station, as a black person, you have to think. When you see a police officer, you have to think, you know? Because we know the world is looking or watching black people. The world is judging black people. The world is fearing black people. It is workplace exhaustion. It is working twice as hard as normal white person. It is getting half of the recognition or even no recognition. It is being called angry for standing up for yourself. That's being black. If you think I'm saying it wrong, tell me in the comment section, okay? You waking up in the store, or you walking up in the store and being followed. Every eyes is on you. There is a camera and there is someone just following you, and there is random people staring at you. That's the exhaustion of being black. That's the exhaustion. It's being pulled over and you're wondering if you'll make home or you'll make in the news. It is watching your culture get stolen, with your people being oppressed. It is watching your history being erased. White or black exhaustion. And the thing is, it doesn't stop. Not at home, not at school, not at buses, not online. It follows black people everywhere they go. And white people can take a break from racial discomfort. But we as black people, we cannot take a break from our blackness. We can't. You get me? So let me go deeper on this. Because now we have got folks, white people, crying about how hard it is to be white, how it is exhaustion to be white. And the world listens. White tears go viral, white guilty get interviewed, and white discomfort become a movement. When that energy, when a black person cry, when a black person is in pain, where are the spotlight? Okay? When black people say they are tired, no one is showing up. You know, white vulnerable has become a shield of distraction. White vulnerable has become a shield, a distraction, a way to stay centered in conversation that is not about them, you know? So let's say this, real allyship isn't about feeling bad, it's about doing better. It's about doing better. That's the real allyship, okay? So white people wanna talk about being tired. So let's talk about being black in the world. Tired is the black man who was teacher. Tired is the black man who was teacher 10-year-old son how not to get killed by police. Tired is that the black worker who watches mediocre white co-workers getting promoted, but he or she get ignored, you know? Tired is being used for campus varsity photos, but left out of leadership, out of opportunity, out of the conversation. Tired is the white people coming to Africa and taking photos for us, using them, but they can't do anything to change this. Tired is always having to represent your whole race. Tired is watching your culture get turned up. TikTok trends by people who didn't grow up with the trauma, with the culture. They never created culture, but they are using our culture to make their trend. That's how being tired is. So we as black people, we are tired in our souls, in our bodies, in our history. But we don't get to take a break. We don't get to cry out our way out for it. We cry it. Every single day, black people are crying for it. So here is the truth that white people need to know, or here is the truth that white people avoid. You are not exhausted because you are getting all the benefits. You are not exhausted when the system was set up for your success. You are not exhausted when the playing field was titled in your favor. You are not exhausted. By now you are calling it out. So now that they are being asked to share space, to hear truth, to acknowledge their privilege, suddenly it's too much. Oh, it is too exhausting. But guess what? We have been tired since slavery, since segregation, since Trayvon Martin, since George Floyd, since Emmett Till. We are here. So tell me what you think on the comments about this video, because being tired as a white person is acceptable. I understand you. But black people are more tired. Because of what? Because of you. So you as white people, maybe you are tired because you are tired of being called out. You are tired of being telling the truth. You are tired of being reminded about the reparation. I know that. Okay? So tell me what you think on the comment section about this video. Until next episode, peace out.